Thank you for joining me on this Friday. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. I want to get to some new information for you. Several areas that could develop, and one even trying to redevelop. Jamaica, Haiti, back through Puerto Rico. We're going to watch this area in here. This is what I've been talking about. I do believe something is going to try to spin up here and then eventually lift to the north. Plus, I want to get into Guatemala, El Salvador, over toward Mexico. We're going to see something over here once again trying to develop. Plus, Tammy is now redeveloping into a subtropical system, but this is the area we're watching. What's going to happen here is a buildup of moisture. We had some heavier rain around in some spots in the eastern Caribbean the last few days. Barbados, we got hit. We even had some water spouts around that, so I was mentioning that tornado threat over the last few days, but we had some heavier rain yesterday, heavier rain through parts of Central America. It's going to build further, and then eventually something may try to develop and lift to the north. So let me show you what we're seeing here. And again, same map I was showing you. What happens is if something develops here, anywhere in here, these fronts to the north this time of year usually draw to the north. So if something were to develop, say, south of Jamaica, that could lift into Jamaica, or south of Haiti and the DR, that could lift up to the north. Same thing, Puerto Rico. So that's usually the trend. Sometimes you get things going in different directions this time of year, but the fronts are a big steering system or steering factor for these areas. Now, look at this map. I haven't shown this map in a long time. This is very important for what's going on for the rest of the hurricane season. This is the heat content, and that's what I've been talking about in some of my prior videos with you. The water temperatures are warm. I'll show you that in a second, but it's the depth of the warm water that is the concern. Usually when a storm system rolls over, the water could churn up some cooler water and help weaken it. But the heat content, you see this red shading and darker red shading here? That means even as you go deep in the water, it's still very warm down there. So whatever churns up would be more warm water, and that could just really help fire up something. So my point being, we could have a system develop close to home and it gets stronger. So the water temperature is 31 degrees Celsius, right around Jamaica and Cuba. So the water is plenty warm at the surface and below, and that all will add fuel to whatever tries to develop. So what I'm watching out for, and we need to be on alert for this because this time of year, it's close to home stuff. We're not going to see a system develop and hit all of us. I'll fine tune it as we go forward. I'll see what may try to spin up. Still not a guarantee, but the issue is that it would spin up basically right on top of us or next to us. Something looks to develop, and if it does develop, it could develop rather quickly. So we could go from nothing to something very quickly. I'll be monitoring this with you through the weekend into next week, watching for any indications of an area of low pressure or storm system trying to develop, and it could develop into a tropical storm or a hurricane. At the least, we're going to see the increased chance of rain and thunderstorms, possibility of stronger storms around. So let me go out in time here. Now, the American model is very similar to the European model right now. So let me show you this. Here's the American model. Again, just like the American model, showing lots of rain around. Today, areas of rain. Now, one island may not get a lot. We had that yesterday, but others got hit so hard with some heavier rain. We'll be watching out for that again for today. Going forward, the green on the map would be the rain, where you see the yellows popping up, the potential of stronger storms around. Now, what could happen this weekend is we could see a little surge develop north of Puerto Rico. There may be a spin up there, but it's more so in the Caribbean here and then up through the Bahamas that I'll be watching as we get deeper into the week. Here's the weekend. Now, I'm going to get into this in a second. This is a big issue for Guatemala, El Salvador, in Mexico. I'll dive into that in a moment. I'm going to zoom back there in the Eastern Pacific, but you see the moisture here feeding up near Haiti and the Dominican Republic, taking us into next week. Somewhere in here, something may try to develop. Now, sometimes in my years of doing this, sometimes it looks like something will develop here, then it would end up here. It just kind of depends on how things are developing out there in the atmosphere, but going way out in time into next week. By the middle of next week, look at that right there. There's this surge of moisture there. Now, this could be over here, or it could be a little bit more over here, but this is what we're watching out for by the middle of next week. Something could spin up there, especially with a front just back to the west. And then this front in here, there's a front in here moving in Wednesday into Florida, and that will bring some cooler weather to Florida. But this front may take what tries to develop here and lift it up to the north. So complex system that I'm watching for you. Now, the next name on the list, if something develops in the Caribbean or near the Caribbean, the next name on the list is Vince. But Tammy itself, Tammy's still out there taking on subtropical characteristics. Now, it looks like, as Tammy's been bringing some gustier winds, of course, to us in Bermuda, but it looks like it is going to start to work away as we go over the next couple days. But again, heads up in Bermuda, still watching Tammy. Tammy. I believe they should classify it as a subtropical system once again. We'll see if they go ahead and do that. The National Hurricane Center, it's definitely looking like a subtropical system, basically like a tropical storm. But again, now to the east of Bermuda, but still those higher seas, monitoring it if it wiggles back closer, watching out for the gusty winds. But this here, watching this, look at this flare up over here. This is where it's been so active. And I do believe something is going to try to develop again here. Now, what happens with it, very tricky. We just had Otis, unfortunately, flare up very quickly. Acapulco, thinking of you. Again, here's Mexico City. Here's Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador. Let me take you out in time here, Eastern Pacific side. This is as we get into the weekend forecast. By the time we get into Sunday afternoon, look how something tries to develop. And it will be very close to Guatemala and El Salvador and extreme southern sections of Mexico. Mudslides immediately become a threat. We'll be seeing that as we get into Saturday and Sunday, giving you the heads up. Regardless of how quickly this develops, we're going to see life-threatening flooding, a potential in mudslides as we work our way into early next week. Look at this area here. Now, there's a lot of question marks what happens after this. On Sunday, some of the modeling and indications are that a front won't pull it up, that it'll kind of drift back. That is possible, or it may just kind of roll into either Guatemala, near El Salvador, and parts of Mexico. So giving you the heads up, please spread the word about this system because it hasn't developed yet. It is going to develop. I firmly believe that, and it will impact especially parts of southern Mexico, Guatemala, and El Salvador. Life-threatening rain, possibility of mudslides with that. So again, watching out for that. Pilar, that is the next name on the list. Again, we just had Otis and just the scenes coming out of parts of Mexico, absolute Acapulco, again, just devastating there. So there's still a lot of warm water down there. So again, watching the next system. So thank you for sharing this channel and subscribing. Now, Barbados, the rain chance stays elevated. We had the flooding yesterday. I was going back and forth with you in the comments. Hopefully we don't get a ton today. Same thing in St. Lucia. We've already had some showers and storms nearby. Rain chance stays elevated. Trinidad and Tobago, some of us were dry yesterday. Others had a few stronger storms later in the day, especially scattered storms today in Trinidad and Tobago. Grenada, same thing, rain chance about 60% and a 50 to 60% chance today through the weekend as we work our way into St. Vincent of the Grenadines. Guadeloupe, rain chance stays elevated, 60% chance. Dominica, rain chance elevated, a 70% chance. Not a guarantee, not a 100% chance, but again, we've had this active pattern. There's tons of moisture around. 60% chance today in Martinique, 50% chance in Antigua and Barbuda. And we'll just see how things develop in the Caribbean to see how much moisture lifts to the north. But scattered rain and storms, and St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat, rain chance stays elevated. So watching that today. Anguilla and St. Bart's, rain chance bumping up a little bit by tomorrow, up to a 60% chance. Same thing, St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, rain chance tomorrow, 60%. Staying on the elevated side through Puerto Rico, scattered areas of rain and storms. U.S. and British Virgin Islands, we had some showers this morning in parts of the Virgin Islands, so thank you for leaving those comments. We have some rain nearby. We need to get some rain in some spots, hopefully not too much too quickly. Jamaica, scattered showers and storms, so if you get one, it could be on the strong side. And of course in Jamaica, watching what may try to spin up nearby. Belize, a 40% chance of storms, a 50% chance today in the Cayman Islands, 40% chance for tomorrow, and a 40% chance in Aruba. Still Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, we have some rain that's nearby this morning. Some of us saw a few showers overnight. Another chance today. Haiti, 40% chance, please, in Haiti. Let's monitor this system that may develop just to the south. Same thing in the Dominican Republic. The DRR rain chance is about 60% for today and tomorrow. 40% chance in Bermuda. We could see some showers spinning in with what should be reclassified as subtropical storm Tammy and those higher seas. Yucatan, rain chance the next 2 days at 40%. A 30% chance the next couple days in the Bahamas. 40% chance by Sunday. Turks and Caicos, 40 to 50% chance over the next couple of days. Cuba, isolated showers and storms to scattered as we work our way into the weekend. Costa Rica, a 60% chance today, tomorrow, through the weekend. 50% chance, few strong ones in northern Venezuela, still active over toward Colombia. Guyana, about a 40% chance today, and about a 20% chance as we get into Suriname. So again, All eyes on what could develop in the Caribbean. We're going to pay very close attention to this together. I got you covered. If I see anything spin up, I'll let you know right away. Watching very closely for early next week. The next couple days itself, active. Again, those areas of rainstorms, some could be severe. Even a waterspout, brief tornado can't be ruled out in a pattern like this. So the strong storms and some flooding. 34 days left in the hurricane season. It is still active. I expect it to stay active right into November. So lots to track. Thank you for getting the word out about this. Please stay safe and have a good rest of your day.